Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a short little game called We Become What We Behold. Now We Become What We Behold was released on itch.io, I don't know, about 4 years or so ago. It's a game about cycles. What kind of cycles? News cycles, social media cycles, stuff like that. I think this game needs to be played now more than ever. It's very appropriate for today's climate. It's a non-partisan game, so no one should be offended by it. But it's short. I think it's about 5 minutes long or so. So let's go ahead and jump right in and see what it has to offer for us. So this game is in fact the Steam port that the fans made. You can play it in a browser, but the only problem is, my computer's so old that it doesn't like to play browser games. It just prefers if they were on the system. So we're playing the port, which means it's stuck at this size. So I'll scale it up to full size, but it's might be a little fuzzy. Warning, the following program contains scenes of snobbery, rudeness, and mass murder. Viewer discretion is advised. Great. We become what we behold. We shape our tools, and then our tools shape us. Also McLuhan. Interesting. So I guess this TV goes ahead and represents the media here. I don't know why there's TV in the middle of the field, but hey, you know what? I'll go with that. And then we have a bunch of people around it. I guess these represent people just kind of going about their day. Some normal people, you know. Of course, I guess no one wants to talk about them, but that's fine. What about this guy in the hat? He looks different. I guess we gotta look at him. That is a nice hat. See, everyone wants to be like him, and now they all wear hats. Look at them all together. Wow. I guess not. What's this guy doing? He looks mad. What? What are you doing? He's just yelling. Craze square attacks. Okay, now this guy looks a little bit worried here. Circle fears squares. It looks like he's into the square, but the squares now are snubbing the circles. See, we're creating this cycle of, like, weirdness. Oh, now he's going. Aw, they converted him. That's true. Not very many people. See, he looks angry. He turned pink. He's like Filthy Frank now or something. What's the red coming out of his mouth for? Ah, I see what's happening. Well, we've created more Franks. See, now the squares ate the circles. It's just going out of hand, man. I think we should put the camera away. Oh my god. We should put the camera away and we should stop. What? This is just... And then more of them. We created 4 more of them. It's getting out of hand. Almost everyone hates everyone. Oh my god. Stop screaming, all of you, please. Just be quiet. Yes, I'm with these people. A piece of sporting violence goes viral. That's not good. And this all started because... Will you shut up? No, everyone hates everyone. Hey, look, it's that guy. They're the only 2 sane people left in the world, apart from them. Don't do it. Oh no. Oh no. We've created a society that hates each other. What's going on? Uh-oh. This is not good, people. Oh no, see, now we're just repeating the same message. Oh, this is not good. Can I just create a loop here? This is like the perfect analogy of what happens in the mainstream media. It just creates this cycle, like... Oh no. Guys, let's calm down. There's still time. We can sort this out. Listen, let's all just get along. No more killing. Peace. Okay. Hey, did we stop it? I think we stopped it. Oh. I guess that's the game. Not a very happy ending for a game, but an ending nonetheless, I think. It's very interesting. A lot of credits. Most of these are Patreon supporters, but it's, interesting. Oh. What's this? It is, in fact, the ending. Check it out. That's it. We become what we behold. Definitely a game I think that needs to be played in today's day and age. It's just, I think so much that we could go into, and I'm going to go into some of it, but so much you can unpack in this, because this game did so much with so little. It really did. It was only about 5 minutes, but it just unpacked a ton of stuff that we can talk about. It's honestly kind of crazy. It's just this vicious cycle where, like, someone's different, okay? So someone different gets this publicity because they're different, you know, like, you know, they wear, like the guy with a hat, you know, he wears a hat. Oh, cool. And then everybody wants to get their hat and fit in. Oh, look at me. I don't even like hats, but I'll wear a hat so I fit in. And then 5 minutes later, hats aren't in. And so it just becomes the next thing. And then you get corporations that capitalize on that by making ads, you know, and making products. But it only works as long as you have to buy something else or do something else, you know, 5 minutes later, you know, so that they get that stream coming in of, you know, money or fame or whatever. And that just kind of becomes this cycle that breeds hate. And we all get stuck in this rut where, like, I mean, if you're different, you know, if you stand out, then, you know, you get the spotlight. And then that creates a lot of people who also want to be different, but unfortunately they lose themselves in the process. And they're like, well, I want to be different, but I can't be me. You know, instead of finding what makes them different, they try to conform to what makes everybody else different. And then in turn, nobody is different. And we just are stuck in this cycle of trying to be different to get the spotlight, but we're really just trying to be the same as everybody else. And it's a sad position because that breeds depression, and then depression breeds, you know, hate, because you try to be different and you get depressed that you can't be different and get that spotlight. So in turn, you hate the people that are truly different and getting the spotlight because you're jealous that you can't have it for you. And then that also then starts breeding violence. And not all violence is physical. It can be emotional, you know, online. If you look in, like, a lot of comment sections of different videos, you know, some successful person, you know, showing what they have or showing how they got to where they were, a lot of it is going to be, well, you know, you had too much money and blah, blah, blah. And even though the other person worked hard for their money and stuff like that. And so it just creates a whole group of people that hate on successful people because they think they can't be successful. And the only reason they can't be successful is because they're spending too much time not being successful and yelling at people that are. Because if they spent that time trying to be successful, most likely they would be successful. but everyone can make an impact. And too many people get caught up being upset at the fact that they haven't made an impact, and then turning around and getting mad at the people that have. And it's just a colossal waste of time. We shape our tools and our tools shape us was a quote in the beginning of the game. And I think, to me, that speaks to whether we know it or not, we shape, sorry, my eye is just, we shape the people around us. If you haven't noticed, when we're around people, we tend to start acting like that person because it's just in us. We're like, oh, that person likes this thing, and then you start liking it because maybe they open up your mind to it, or maybe you're just trying to be more like them because you like them, whatever it is. Usually you start to conform to acting like that person. So that in that way, we shape our tools or we shape our peers, and then in turn our peers shape us because we're all shaping each other. Every interaction you make, every word, everything that comes out of your mouth every single day shapes somebody in some form. Words have power and meaning, and if you can use them for the good reasons, you can use them for wrong reasons. And that's really the bottom line. So every day you're shaping each other. And if you shape each other in a negative light and just paint a negative picture all the time, it's going to breed an entire group of people that see each other in a negative light and see others in a negative light. See, what happens when someone gets successful and they kind of, it's a good feeling. And then they want to share that with somebody else. So they'll usually, maybe they'll put it on Instagram, maybe put it on their YouTube. Maybe they'll, post about it. What happens is when people get jealous or people get insecure and say, that's not your real car, that's not your real shirt, that's not your real whatever, or, and then they start commenting these things to try and put the other person down, what it does to that person who is successful and trying to make a life for themselves is it starts making them think, oh, well, maybe I'm not doing good enough. So they go out and try and have more and do more. One of two things will happen. That'll happen, and then they'll post that. And then they'll keep getting hate, so the cycle will repeat, and they'll keep trying to go above and beyond. And it just never works. And ultimately, the second thing will happen one time or another. It'll either happen the first time, or it'll happen later, is they'll start doing more and more, and it's just never enough. And then they get this thought in their head that, well, it'll never be enough for anybody. I'll never be what they want me to be. And they get depressed. And then that leads to either hate in themselves, and then they turn into a person like that, and they get corrupted, so to speak. And that just feeds into the cycle. Or they'll get depressed to where they do something that I can't talk about on YouTube because I'll immediately get my video removed, but you guys can work out what that is. And then after that happens, everyone's like, oh, that's terrible. Well, I'll say that's terrible. We didn't mean to do that. Or you'll say, good riddance. I never liked that person anyway, which is really messed up when you think about it. And it helps feed into that kind of stigma that everybody puts on these successful people, where they're like, oh, well, rich, successful people are just snobs. And some of that is their own doing, but maybe it's also because everyone treats them like garbage because they're jealous of what they have. But just the more I've looked around YouTube, the more I've looked in the comments, because I've started looking into comments more lately. Not mine, other people's. I really don't care about mine because people can say what they want. But just Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, the more hate that I've seen, and the more that I've looked at getting onto these platforms, such as Twitch and YouTube and all that, it's just crazy how much people put others down to try and make themselves feel better, and they don't realize that by doing that, they're just creating a monster that they can't possibly even dream of controlling. And I guess a little bit of advice that I have for anyone that's like in that cycle is just remember, there's always going to be someone more successful than you, and there's always going to be someone less successful than you, okay? And it's just how it works. There's, someone less successful than me, there's someone more successful than me. It's just one of those, I don't know how to explain it. It's just common sense. Not everyone is going to be where you are, and you're not going to be up to where everyone else is. And you just kind of have to be happy with where you are now, knowing that if you continue to head towards where you want to be and try and accomplish your goals and dreams and work at it, you'll become more successful. Or if you are happy with where you're at, you can stay where you're at. If you're not happy with where you're at, I just encourage you to start achieving those goals or pushing yourself towards those goals. I mean, if I don't sit here and make videos, or if I don't sit here and play games, or if I don't sit here and start setting up my stuff for streaming and start building my computer and all that stuff, I'm never going to be where I want to be with YouTube and Twitch and all that. And it's just a fact. If you want to be an engineer, if you don't start studying and going to school, you're just not going to be one. If you're trying to be an athlete, if you don't work out and push yourself to where you need to be, you're not going to accomplish those goals. And I think a lot of people know that. I'm just saying there's always going to be someone here and down here. And the people that are down here can either get mad at the person up here and spend all of their time just trying to put this person and bring them down to their level, or they can spend their energy and time pushing themselves up here and beyond. And it's just up to you to choose. Has anyone seen the movie The Iron Giant? If you haven't, it's actually a pretty good movie. But there's a quote in there, and it says, "You are who you choose to be." And it's true. You ultimately, at the end of the day, make those decisions to make yourself more or less successful. And how you spend your time is everything. If you spend your time watching doofuses like me tell you what you should do and not doing anything, then that's one thing. But if you spend your time trying to accomplish what you want, that's everything. I mean, time is a commodity that you don't get back ever, so just be wise on how you spend it. Don't let people's opinions about you sway where you want to be and what you do. Don't let them hold a lot of value. Okay? If it's constructive criticism, if you go out every day and spend $100 a day on useless crap you don't need, and someone says, "Hey, maybe you should stop doing that," then yes, maybe pay attention. But if someone says, that's just them being jealous of that you have something they don't. Okay? And if you let those opinions start swaying who you are, it's going to change yourself to where one day you might wake up and you don't even recognize who you are because you're trying to be who everyone else tells you to be. And that's just wasting time, which you don't get back. Everything ties in together. It's a very deep situation that I don't have time to go into completely. But just be you and accomplish what you want to accomplish. Be who you want to be. And don't let anyone else tell you different. You know who you are, you know where you're going, and you know what you've done, what you can do, and what you will do. Don't let someone say you are not X or you are not Y when you are. You know you are. Why are you going to let somebody say you're not? That doesn't even know you, doesn't know your ass from a hole in the ground, and they're telling you you're not. Like, I get a kick out of people. Someone goes to school for 4 years to be an engineer, and then someone comments, "You're not an engineer, you don't know what you're talking about." They don't know you. You know you. It's just stupid, but I don't know. Good game, good message. I think now more than ever, it's needed with everything going on. Hopefully it kind of opens some people's eyes to the whole toxicity of the system. Social media, mainstream media, and even in-person reactions. I mean, what you say shapes somebody, and then that person goes on to shape somebody else. So just be careful what you say, be careful what you put out there, be careful what you listen to, weigh it, There's both sides have a lot of misinformation and rumor spreading, and I think everything will come to light soon. So here's hoping. And of course, if you liked the video, don't hesitate to subscribe, like the video. Comment down below what you guys want to see next on the channel. And as always, I will see you, special friends, in the next video.